Today we're looking at topic 12-9. We're learning how to calculate the volume of prisms. Please go ahead and update your INB at this time with your table of contents and set up your Cornell style page. We'll start by defining volume. The volume of a 3D figure is the measure of space occupied by it, or the amount of space that the whole figure takes up, and it's measured in cubic units. There are several different types of prisms. One type of prism is a rectangular prism. Remember that a prism has two bases, and it has rectangular faces. Rectangular lateral faces. So a rectangular prism, the bases will be either square or rectangle. And the volume of a rectangular prism is the area of the base of the prism times the height of the prism. It can also be called the distance between the two bases. So the height is the distance between the two bases. And you learned last year that it's length times width times height. So these are the formulas. Volume equals big B for base times height, and the big B is the area of the base, or length times width times height. So the first example, I have a rectangular prism, and since we're doing volume equals base times height, we need to first identify what the bases are. In this particular example, I'm going to use this part as the base. Okay, as you can see, the bases are parallel to one another. The height is the distance between the two bases. So if I'm going to find big B, it's length times width, which is 3 times 4. So big B is 12, and as we said before, H is 12. So volume equals base times height equals 12 times 12 equals 144 cubic centimeters. So if I were to fill this rectangular prism with cubes that are 1 by 1, I could fit 144 1 cubic centimeter cubes inside of this prism. Next, we're going to look at triangular prisms. And as we learned before, a triangular prism is a prism with triangular bases. They are congruent and parallel to one another. So just like a rectangular prism, but the bases are triangles. So before we look at this, we'll go on. So the volume of a triangular prism is just like the formula of the volume for a rectangular prism. The volume equals the area of the base times the height of the prism. Okay, so let's review real quick. If it's the area of the base, and the base is a triangle, so this will be the base of our triangular prism. This is the height of the base, and this is the little b, base of the base. So the area of the base, if it's a triangular base, is the base times the height divided by 2. Okay, this is what big B is in this equation, in that formula. Okay, so This is just reiterating what I said. We need to remember that the height of the triangle is not the same as the height of the prism. So if I have my prism right here. The triangles are the bases, and I always like to shade my bases. And if you get into that habit, this whole thing becomes a lot easier. So I shade my bases. They have triangular bases, so it's a triangular prism. The distance between the bases is the height, so my height is 12 centimeters. So I have my base right here. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is the base of the base times its height divided by 2, which is 6 times 3 divided by 2, which is 9. So now I come back here. Volume equals 9 times, and I said that the height of the prism is 12. And 9 times 12 is 108 cubic centimeters. Let's look at a couple more examples. Okay, so first we're looking at this cube. We want to remember our volume is the area of the base times the height. And we've shaded right here as the base of the cube. So the base is 4 times 4. The height is the distance between the bases. So our volume is 16 times 4. Which is 64 cubic inches. So again, we're showing our formula. We're showing the values of the parts of the formula. We're showing those substituted in, and then we're showing our answers. So our base is 16, our height is 4, the volume is 64 cubic inches. Our next example, again, we have a triangular prism. The bases of the triangle, of the prism, are the triangles. So the height is 10. The area of the base, since it's a triangle, base times height over 2, which is 6 times 6 over 2, which is 18 square meters. Okay, the volume is 18 times 10, which is 180 cubic meters. In addition to being able to find the volume of a figure, we also need to be able to find the missing side of the figure if we're given the volume. So in this situation here, I've got a box, a rectangular prism. It has a volume of 360 cubic centimeters, and it has a base that's 6 by 6. I'm going to shade the bases, and I'm solving for the height. So volume equals base times height. Since it's got square bases, my base is 6 squared, or 36. Now I'm going to substitute the 360 in for the volume. So 360 equals 36 times the height. Divide both sides by 36. And my height is 10 centimeters. My height is 10 centimeters. We need to be able to work backwards to find the volume of a prism. And then I have one more example. If I'm given the chart, I need to be able to come up with the volume. So I look at my chart, If the height is 12, I need to figure out what I multiply by 12 to get to 24. Well, 12 times 2 is 24. 15 times 2 is 30. 16 times 2 is 32. 18 times 2 is 36. So in this one, my volume equals 2 times the height. You see how I'm multiplying the height? Height times 2 equals the volume. We need to be able to work those out too. Okay, now it's time for your you try. I have the you try on our web page, so you can go ahead and pull that up. Once you're done with those, the you try key is there as well.